Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video I will tell you how to make a very nice beach bag. We will prepare our bag using shelves, and look, our bag is quite large. I have a hard time fitting the screen of the bag. I want to show the inside like this. You can use it directly. I used a ready-made handle in my bag, but if you want you can also make knitted handles, or you can use different handles accessories. It is completely up to your taste. I want to show the model up close. Look, we will prepare our bag with only tight needle technique. We will knit 3 pieces front, back and side bellows and a long rectangular piece that forms the base. We will knit these 3 pieces together, and look, we will have a beautiful image like this. I hope the colors are clearly reflected. We will use a colored shelf yarn. Again, I shared the yarn I used and where I bought it and how much I used step by step in the video. I hope it will be useful. Before moving on to our detailed recipe, I would like to make a small request from you. You can subscribe to our channel for free. I would be really happy if you like the video, and do not forget to leave your comments. If you want, you can use it daily or at the beach. It really is a very practical and beautiful bag that we can call a tachika. I worked with pleasure. I hope you like it and try it. I will use colorful shelf yarns like these that I bought from Aksa Orgu Boutique to knit my bag. Its knitting is not very difficult. Look, its knitting is quite easy, but look, I want to show its structure. It has a complete paper form. It is necessary to be very careful while knitting. It is necessary to be careful not to cut the yarn while crocheting. It is also useful to state this. Look, this is my thick yarn from the second ball. Now I will use it for joining. 2 balls will be enough for this bag. Now I will share the measurements with you. But of course, if you want to make it bigger, you may need a 3rd ball. It is also useful to state this. It is useful. Here you see 2 different colors. There are many different color options. I will add the link to Aksa Orgu Boutique's Instagram account in the description section below. You can contact Aksa Orgu Boutique by clicking there. You can also look at its different colors from there. Now I will describe the model to you with this color. In fact, the model has no difficulty. We will only knit tight stitches. We will chain and work single crochet. The only important thing here is that I actually give you the numbers. Look, you see the side gusset that forms our bag. We will knit a long rectangular piece. For this I used 18 chains and 18 single crochets. In other words, I started with 19 chains and knitted 18 single crochets. I will not tell you the measurement of the length part. Now let's make you realize the logic here. Look, the width of our gusset is 14 centimeters, 14.5 centimeters, 18 single crochets. We gave the measurement of 14.5 centimeters for this side gusset. We also have the piece that forms the front and back of our bag. For this I started with 47 chains. I knitted 46 single crochets until it became 29 rows. This piece will be the length of our bag first. This is the edge. Let's say its length like this. Look, the size is 32 centimeters. This will be the size of our bag. And look, its width is 38 centimeters. The measurement is like this. Now why don't I say the length of the side blind here? Because look, I didn't break the yarn here. I'm continuing to knit. I knitted the front and back. I finished. I broke my yarn. But when knitting the side blind here, look, we need to knit it in a way that it will frame the whole thing with 2 short sides and 1 long side. So the numbers here will be wondered about the number of rows. I knitted 29 rows in the front and back piece, 46 single crochets. Here we used 18 tight needles and knitted a very long back. I will not say this row as I said the number. The important thing is that we need to knit this edge, the base, and then the other edge look like this in a U shape, look like this so that they match. Why didn't I break the yarn here? Look, this is an important trick because here, for example, it was missing. I didn't break the yarn. I can knit it. If it was too much, I can unravel it. In this way, I don't break the yarn at the end. I start joining from the other end. This is a technique I always use when knitting all these types of bags. Now let's take our yarn out like this. When using this yarn, look, my number was 4.5 mils. You can easily prepare such a bag with different yarns. You can determine your own crochet hook number according to the thinness and thickness of your yarn, the frequency and looseness of your knitting. I never shook my hand. I knitted loosely like this, comfortably. Because it is paper, its material is very tight. If you knit too tightly, you will experience breakage in this yarn. It is also important to say that it looks comfortable and shabby, especially when we look at the bags in stores. There is no such solid, hard knitting like ours. It is as loose as possible, ironed, and look at these parts. I ironed them after knitting and finishing. This is how it is. Iron it, press it, iron it, nothing happens. Let's move on to the model right away. I pull my chain. I started with 47 chains for the front and back. I started with 19 chains for the side bellows. Look, I pull my chains like this. It will be a little looser than the setting I knitted. As you can see, my knitting is quite comfortable. Then I leave the last chain. Look at another chain, not the straight part of the chain. I turned the wrong part. I'm knitting my single crochets using these dotted lines on the back. We'll use these parts. I'm leaving the last chain. I slipped into the back dotted line of another chain and pulled out my stitch. I have 2 stitches. I wrapped them. I pulled my single crochet through them. I slipped into the back dotted line of another chain. I'm pulling out the stitch, and look, I'm stretching it a little bit. I don't knit too tightly, especially with natural yarns with paper inside. This looseness looks really nice. Now look at 1 single crochet in each one. A very easy example, we create our bag only with single crochets. Of course, you can apply it in different models. It does not have to be single crochets. Now look, here is the eyeball rule. I have made 2, 4, 6, 7 single crochets. I pull 1 chain and then turn my knitting. Look, the dark color matches. I hope you understand. I insert the first gap that comes up and immediately pull out a stitch, and then the single crochet comes to another point. Insert the single crochet again and the single crochet like this. Look, we knit the single crochets until the end. If this is your first time knitting, I will definitely recommend you to count your single crochets in the first row. By the way, I noticed that the yarn seemed a little damp after taking it out of the gel. The yarn starts to dry as it stands. I don't know why this is like this. Look. In this way, we knit the last tight stitch, pull 1 chain again, turn the knitting needle upside down, and continue knitting tight stitches by inserting them into the first space that comes up. Look, here are 7. We continue with frequent needles. You can enlarge or reduce these numbers to the size you want. This is the only process we do. Look, we are knitting our tight needles like this only. Knitting is not very easy. It is not difficult. Now look, we are completing our model by knitting our tight needles like this. Only tight needles. As I said, I knitted my knitting loosely without shaking my hands at all. Look, I want to show its texture up close. We are completing 3 pieces like this. Front, back, and bellows. Now I will take my knitting aside like this. How do we combine it? Look, I will start combining it from this end. My yarn from the ball is here. Now I will leave some yarn on this side, because I don't want to open a third ball. It might end up missing something. I'm leaving a lot of extra yarn like this, then I can use that to stitch it together. Look, I cut off too much yarn so that I can continue knitting from the ball. It's waiting here. I'm going to take one of the front pieces right away. Look, the flat part from this side should look like this. Towards the wrong end will make the last frame. From here again, I'm starting from the wrong end. I went in at the point where the first single crochet was. Look again on this side. This is the single crochet and this is the chain space. I'm taking my yarn. I'm going to pass a loop through here and then a chain like this. I pulled and I come to the same space. Now we will hide this short yarn. I knit 1 tight stitch opposite to the same space. Then look, I am inserting into the next space. I am inserting into the space in the opposite piece, hiding the short yarn from this point. Look, I am knitting a tight stitch. We will join now. Look like this. I am inserting 2 pieces of side gusset and front piece into the next space opposite each other. I am removing my stitch from the space and I am knitting very tightly. I am inserting frequent needles into the spaces opposite each other in the setting of the knitting. I am inserting frequent needles into the spaces opposite each other. I knit frequent needles by inserting them into the appropriate spaces so that they coincide with each other. Look like this. I am making a frame by combining them. I will continue like this until this end. Look, we will have made our bag a hole like this. Then we will have assembled the other piece in the same way here. Look, we will have assembled the other piece starting from this side with tight needles. Our bag consists of front, back and side bellows. As I said, let's put these three pieces together and now let's create our bag. Look, now we have assembled the bellows part of our bag. I want to tell you the number of these times. For those who are wondering, we had 18 tight needles for the side bellows in 92 turns. I have completed my bag, but this order may differ for you depending on the tightness and looseness of our hands. If we use the same yarn and the same crochet hook number, the measurements I gave may differ from your measurements. This is due to the looseness of knitting problem. It is useful to state this. Now look, we have placed the front and back piece side blind. See, our yarn is here. In this part we have assembled the bag. I want to show like this. We have assembled the long piece to the front and back piece. What we will do now, look, you can use the bag like this if you want, so the edges may look like this, but what will we do? We will make a difference in this bag. Now we will turn the bag to its reverse side, just like this. Let's translate. I like this shape better, but you can use it the other way too. Then it becomes a bit more of a bucket bag style, but it will be a more casual beach bag look. Look, let's definitely flatten it like this. Don't pull this yarn too much while knitting. I mean, you may experience sudden breaks. It is not a yarn that can be pulled too much, but you can smooth it with an iron in this state. Look, it turned out very nice. I like this image better. Look, the other side is like this. Now our yarn is left here. We came to this corner point with single crochet. What am I going to do now? I am making a chain here right away and I am coming. I will hide the yarns there too, by the way. Let's come to this intermediate point like this. I am sinking and knitting one single crochet. Now we will pass a row of single crochet like this. Look at the other points in the same way. I knit single crochet to the points where the single crochet comes. In this way we will have passed the mouth of our bag with a row of single crochet. If you think I am going through these stages too quickly, you can slow down the video or speed it up. Now look, we will knit a row of single crochet, then we will move on to making the handle part. Look, we have completed our bag. I told you after knitting the pieces once more with steam feathers. Now after we make it a hole, look, I ironed the last single crochet we knitted with steam feathers again. We have also given our bag its final shape. Look, it looks really stylish this way. Now I will use a ready-made handle for my bag. I will not make a knitted handle, but you can make handles with your own yarn, or you can add different handles. I will add a handle in this color just to make it different. I will put it on. These handles have many different colors. You can look at their colors from Aksa Knitted Batik. I want to show you the quality up close. Look, clearly it has very beautiful colors. As I said, it has many different colors. I want to say the size of the handle in centimeters. Look closely at the short side. It is 2 centimeters thick. Our handle length is 68 centimeters. Now look, we will mount these to our bag with etami needles through the holes, and we will finish our bag in this way. Look, we have finished our bag. Now I will tell you its dimensions. Look, its width is 52 centimeters and its length is 38 centimeters. This is how we measure it. Look, it turned out really nice. You can easily do such a work in one day. We use ready-made handles and we finish our bag by knitting only 3 pieces with the tight needle technique. Since we use leftovers, our work with thick yarn is finished faster. It looks really nice when it is attached. It will never go out of fashion. It has become a bag that we can use constantly. You can use it both for daily use and as a beach bag. If you do not have to use such a handle, the color here is a little different. I mean, it looks like a different color, but it really fits and looks nice. I hope you like it and try it. I wish good luck to those who will do it. Don't forget to like our video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. Goodbye until we see you in the next video.